In these strange and overwhelming times, more people than ever are finding themselves seeking out some form of therapy. And we've hopefully reached the point now where we, as vulnerable and imperfect human beings, can comfortably reach out for help without feeling like we're exhibiting weakness or leaving ourselves open to judgment. These days, whenever we find ourselves struggling, there's more opportunity than ever to get the help we need. There are literally hundreds of different therapeutic approaches out there, and no single method works for everyone. But if you're contemplating seeking help, there are a few pieces of information that once you know will put you in a much better position to get the most from whatever therapy you seek out. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tim Box, remedial hypnotist and mind coach. I work one-to-one with people to help them overcome all sorts of emotional and psychological issues, and in particular to help them get the other side of high anxiety and panic. During more than a decade of working with people, I've noticed there are a few things that most of my clients either don't realize or sometimes struggle to accept as true that if they'd already known would have made the therapeutic process much simpler. So in this video, I'm going to break down the top 4 things that your therapist wishes you already knew. Before we go any further, please give this video a like by clicking the thumbs up button below, as it helps the video get seen and helps more people get the help they need. I've lost count of how many people have come to see me expecting me to wave my magic wand and magically fix them. Wouldn't it be fantastic if it worked that way? But unfortunately, it doesn't. Change is, as the saying goes, an inside job. Someone like me can work with you to guide you, but ultimately nobody can change you except you. I can point the way, but you have to make the journey. Now, this doesn't mean your therapist isn't going to be playing a huge and hopefully pivotal role in helping you get the change you're looking for, but it will be you that's making the change, not them. And here's the thing, you don't want someone else taking ownership of your progress anyway. All that does is send you out into the world disempowered, stripped of any agency, and ultimately vulnerable to the next challenge life throws at you. When clients I work with get the result they're looking for, part of that result will hopefully be their understanding that it was them that did this, not me. It's that realization that they are back in control of the way they think, feel, and behave, and that they did this themselves, that ultimately stops them being vulnerable to relapse. They know they won't end up back in the same place emotionally and psychologically as they were, because they understand exactly what they did to move on from that place. The big fear when we embark upon any type of change process is that we'll prove to be that impossible case who, for whatever reason, just can't change. It's a very natural, logical step to go from feeling like we're stuck to doubting we'll ever get free. After all, taking the step to reach out to a therapist probably isn't the first step we've taken in attempting to change how we feel. Most of the people I see have already tried multiple methods to make changes, and they're already viewing me as the next person in the long line of people that just couldn't help. When we've tried so many things with little positive result, at some point our belief that the next thing won't work turns into a belief that we don't work. We start to assume we're just unfixable. It's important to remember that whilst I've met many people that doubted their ability to change, and I've also met people that didn't respond to my style of help, I've never actually met anyone that couldn't change. The simple fact is that neurologically speaking, our brains are constantly learning, growing, and updating. It never stops, no matter how old we get. This means that change is constantly happening, whether we like it or not. The therapeutic process takes advantage of this natural and innate capacity for change that we all have. We know change will occur, we're just looking to shape that growth and point it in the direction we choose to go, rather than the direction life has so far sent us. The problem with seeking to fix something is that we've probably at some point started to regard that thing as broken, or we wouldn't be looking to fix it. However, as soon as we start to regard ourselves as broken, that leads us down a dark road, a road that we actually don't have to go down. Positive change and personal development isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about upgrading the things about us that we're aware currently hold us back. There's not a single person on the planet that doesn't have things they would ideally like to change about themselves if they could. And that's simply because none of us are perfect, and we shouldn't ever expect to be. It's okay to notice our flaws because that's what informs us of the things we'd next like to upgrade. But no matter how dysfunctional we feel or how much emotional damage we've taken along our journey, let's not ever make the mistake of regarding ourselves as broken, no matter how much it might feel like we are at times. Any work you do with a therapist will bear greater and faster results if you do yourself a favour and let go of any idea that you're broken and need fixing. So the work we as therapists do is so much simpler if we don't have to start by convincing the client that they deserve happiness as much as anyone else on the planet. Yes, sometimes we go through things where we feel we've made mistakes, maybe even caused ourselves and others pain. But at no point, no matter how far off track we stray, do we relinquish the right to pursue happiness. The simple fact is that mistakes are a part of learning and growing. Taking the wrong turn is often a vital step in finding the right path, and getting things wrong is sometimes how we learn what's right. It's an unfortunate fact that often the only reason we don't let go of anxiety, low mood, low self-esteem, or any number of other psychological and emotional issues is because a part of us has incorrectly concluded that after all we've done and everything we've been through, we just don't deserve to be happy anymore. But we don't get to decide what challenges life throws at us and when we'll be forced to learn hard lessons. All we can do is keep learning and keep growing. Yes, things will go wrong at times. Experience has taught us that. But at no point were we ever anything other than a human being doing our best as we went along our journey. And for that reason, we are always worthy of finding happiness. So there you have it, 4 things that your therapist would love it if you already knew. But one final thought. It doesn't matter what you've been through or what you're going through now. It doesn't matter how many different methods and approaches you've used to no avail. The right help for you is out there. And in my experience, the people that get their result and make the personal changes they're seeking are the ones that know those changes are possible, and they know they'll keep looking until they find the right person and the right approach for them. So it doesn't matter who you are. You're not broken. You can change, and you deserve to be happy. Guys, I really hope this video has been of help. Let me know your thoughts about this one down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go, and why not subscribe to the channel for more regular anxiety advice. If you have a specific anxiety related question you want answered, then you can join me live on this channel every Friday evening at 6 PM London time when I do a live anxiety Q&A. But that's it for now. I'm Tim Box. Always remember to be kind to your mind, and I'll see you next time.